Welcome to Reddit Enderbender. We give Reddit stories their deserving endings because we hate being left hanging. Hello, everyone. So I'll try to keep this short. Basically, my girlfriend and I have been dating for a little over half a year now, and it's been amazing, and I love her a lot. But recently, there's been some strain, at least on my side, because she doesn't know how to cook and never has anything to eat at her place. And I'm tired of spending money on food for us or spending money on fast food constantly. We both work full-time jobs, but I am in college online, so I have a pretty busy schedule when it comes to finding the time to do my college work, along with everything else. My girlfriend recently has been needing a lot of attention, and I just don't have the time, and I don't have the money to spend on both of us to eat out every day. She never cooks, barely cleans her own apartment, and is constantly wanting to see me every waking minute, which isn't a problem. She just can't understand that I need time to do my stuff and will get upset when I tell her that. This is really annoying to me, and I'm unsure what to do. I fear that if I call her out and tell her I'm tired of her not being able to cook and not being an adult, because I've semi-called her out before as a joke, and she broke down in tears. She'll just break down again, and I'll be left feeling like a jerk because I want her to change to better our relationship. Please, someone tell me what I should do. Any advice is appreciated. Edit. Just to clear up some common misconceptions that I've been seeing constantly. Yes, I do cook. I cook the most in the relationship. No, I don't clean up her apartment when it's dirty. I just suggest she cleans it, which she will do maybe 2 times a month. Let's rejoin the narrative at the point where OP decides to sit his girlfriend down and have a heart-to-heart talk. I was feeling lost and overwhelmed, so I talked to my friends for advice. They told me to communicate with my girlfriend, so I took a deep breath and sat her down. I told her how exhausted I was from being the only one paying for food and taking care of everything. I asked her to help out more and to give me some space sometimes. My girlfriend started tearing up again, just like she always did when we argued. I could feel my heart sink because I knew what was coming next. She couldn't handle the conversation, so she started blaming me for being selfish and not understanding her needs. And just like that, our relationship started to go downhill. We tried to make up, but there was always this tension between us. It was like a wall that was suffocating any love that was left. Days turned into weeks, and weeks turned into months, but things never got better. I felt trapped, like I was suffocating under the weight of all the expectations that we had for each other. In the end, we realized we just weren't meant to be. Our love, once so strong, couldn't withstand the pressure. I had to make the tough decision to walk away, even though it hurt like hell. I couldn't keep living in a constant state of struggle. And as I left, I couldn't help but feel a deep sense of loss and sadness. Our love story had come to a bitter end, and I couldn't help but wonder what could have been. And that's the thing about love, my friends. It's a beautiful thing, but it's also fragile. Even with the best intentions, things can still fall apart. It's a sad reality, but it's also a part of life. They went their separate ways, but they'll always carry the memories of what once was. Let's find out what happens in another version of the narrative's conclusion. I was in a tough spot. I didn't want to be mean, but I also couldn't pretend that everything was fine. The last time I made a joke about her cooking, she cried. I felt like a jerk, and it didn't solve anything. I was so lost. I didn't know what to do. I turned to my friends for help, hoping they could give me some clarity. They gave me all sorts of advice, but one thing was for sure. I had to talk to my girlfriend. Communication was key, and keeping quiet wasn't going to solve anything. I took a deep breath and sat down with my girlfriend. My heart was pounding, but I knew I had to talk to her. I started by telling her how I was feeling overwhelmed and stressed about our finances. I said that I wanted us to have a more equal partnership where we both shared the load. I also mentioned that I would appreciate it if she helped out more with cooking and cleaning. My girlfriend started tearing up again, just like she always did when we argued. I felt my heart sink, thinking I had messed up again. But this time something was different. She actually listened to me, really listened to what I had to say. She understood where I was coming from and owned up to her part in it. She promised to do better, to be a better partner and contribute more to our relationship. We hugged each other tightly, feeling relieved and hopeful. The dark cloud that had been hanging over our relationship started to lift. We knew we had work to do, but we were determined to make it work. We were ready to face the challenges together and grow as a couple. And that's how things started to look up for us. We had a real talk and opened up to each other, and it helped us to strengthen our bond. We learned that being vulnerable and understanding each other was the key to a strong relationship. From then on, we started a new chapter filled with compromise, growth, and a love that could withstand anything life threw our way. What would you have done in OP's shoes? Which ending was the best? Tell me in the comments below. My boyfriend 34 male asked me 34 female to help him with something on his phone. Support asked me to send a screenshot of the error message he was getting. When I went into his gallery to attach the screenshot, I saw that he had screenshots of my sister from her social media page. So, to be fair, these are photos that anyone has access to. But that's also kind of the issue. Why would you need to screenshot these photos if you can look at them anytime you want? I'm not dumb. I know why he has them, and I'm beyond grossed out. Additional information. We have been together almost 7 years, and we live together. My sister is 27 and is my best friend. She has spent the night at our house. My boyfriend and I have spent the night at her house. He has been to all of our family events. He is family. Also, my boyfriend sucks with technology. I'm constantly helping him reset passwords, place or return orders, etc. I have found tons of porn and porn searches on his phone, and I have told him numerous times, I don't care what you look at, but it shouldn't be this easy for me to find. I have told him about private browsing. To clarify, I have never looked through his phone. Anything I have found is literally because he has asked me to help, and in helping, it was right there in front of me. When I found the pictures, I tried to just finish what I was helping him with. I ended up just being so upset and my hands were shaking that I threw the phone in his lap and told him he's going to have to figure out himself because I saw the pics of my sister. He instantly knew he was in trouble, and the first thing he said was, "Well, I know you're going to be mad at me tonight and probably tomorrow too." I went into my bedroom and shut the door. As he tends to do, he came in 20 minutes later and asked if I wanted to talk. I told him that there's no other reason for him to have them saved on his phones, that it is always going to be weird to have him around when she's there, that I feel grossed out. He first accused me of looking through his phone, which I quickly corrected. Then he said, "Guys are just different." With no further explanation, and the rest was just, I don't know what to say, and telling me he was going to give me space. At one point, he asked if I was going to leave him, but I don't think he let me answer, or he started saying something else. Either way, it didn't get answered. I don't know if this is a relationship deal breaker or if this is just something to have a conversation about. How do I not feel weird seeing him interact with my sister? It also sucks because my sister is the person I would normally go to with this information, but I can't tell her this. Let's rejoin the narrative where OP is devastated after her unsettling discovery, and she doesn't know what to do. She can't even talk to her sister about it because her sister is oblivious to her role in the whole mess. After that earth-shattering discovery, our once lively home was now filled with tension. Every look, every gesture, and every moment we spent together felt tainted by what I had found on his phone. We tried to act like everything was normal, but the awkwardness was palpable, an unspoken wall between us. I tried to focus on other things, but I couldn't stop thinking about those images of my sister. The more I thought about it, the worse it got. I felt betrayed and deceived by someone I thought I could trust. The pain was like an open wound, festering inside of me. One night, we sat in silence at the dinner table. I finally worked up the courage to break it. "We can't keep avoiding this," I said, my voice barely above a whisper. He looked up at me, his eyes tired and his face a mix of guilt and sadness. "You're right. You're right." He sighed, his shoulders slumping. "I screwed up, big time." "Why did you do it?" I asked, my voice trembling with a mix of anger and hurt. He looked down, avoiding my eyes. "I don't have a good excuse, and I'm not gonna make one. It was dumb, selfish. I don't know. Maybe it was curiosity, maybe it was just a moment of weakness. But I never meant to hurt you like this." Tears welled up in my eyes. "Do you know how much this has hurt me? How much it's changed the way I see you, the way I see us?" He nodded, his eyes glistening too. "I do, and I'm so sorry. I wish I could take it all back." We talked for hours that night, hashing out all the ways our relationship had been damaged by this incident. It was a tough, raw conversation that exposed our weaknesses and flaws. There were moments of anger, moments of silence, and moments of shared sadness. As time went on, we both struggled with the aftermath. He was regretful, desperate to fix the damage he had caused. But no matter how much he apologized, no matter how much we talked, the trust that had been broken couldn't be easily repaired. I watched him from across the room, and I felt a lump form in my throat. The man I had loved, my partner and confidant, seemed like a stranger now. Our connection had been broken, irreparably damaged by his actions. We both knew that we couldn't go back to the way things were. The weight of his betrayal, coupled with the history of his indiscretions and disregard for my feelings, was too much to bear. We broke up with heavy hearts. And so, our once shared journey came to an end. The home that had been filled with laughter, warmth, and dreams for the future now felt empty and lonely. We went our separate ways, each carrying the pain of a love that had been both beautiful and heartbreaking. I still think about that day sometimes, the images of what happened still fresh in my mind. It's a wound that still hasn't healed, a reminder of how easily trust can be broken and how complicated human emotions can be. As I move on, I'm left with the bittersweet realization that even the best love stories can end in heartbreak, but they also leave behind lessons and memories that stay with us forever. In this rendition of the story's conclusion, Opie took an innovative approach to determining the fate of her relationship. Let's delve into the intriguing way she navigated this decision. The atmosphere in our home quickly changed from tense to eerie. Days turned into a surreal mix of awkwardness and strange happenings. I went to bed every night feeling like the universe had conspired to turn our reality into something unexplainable. I woke up one morning to find our furniture upside down from the ceiling. My boyfriend was standing there with a sheepish grin, saying he wanted to shake things up a bit. I was confused and bewildered. Was this some kind of weird attempt to distract us from the pain we were both feeling? As the weeks went by, the strange things just kept getting weirder. Our cat started speaking in rhymes and riddles, giving us cryptic advice about relationships and the universe. I was starting to think I had slipped into some parallel universe. I woke up one morning to find my boyfriend rearranging the kitchen utensils into a pattern that looked like ancient symbols. He said it was a form of culinary divination that would help us find answers to our problems. I didn't know whether to laugh or cry at the absurdity of it all. I was walking down the hallway one day when I saw a door that I had never seen before. It was wedged between two other doors, and it didn't look like it belonged there. I opened it cautiously, and I was immediately met with a swirling vortex of colors. It looked like it led to somewhere else. My boyfriend came up behind me, looking excited. "Isn't this amazing?" he said. "I found a door to another dimension. I thought we could explore it together and maybe find a new perspective on our relationship." I stared at him in disbelief. This had to be a prank, right? But as I looked into the swirling colors, a strange curiosity took over me. Maybe, just maybe, stepping through that door could give me the closure or clarity I so desperately crave. With a mix of trepidation and excitement, we held hands and stepped through the portal. What followed was a surreal journey through landscapes that defied all logic and reason. We met talking trees that talked about love, sentient clouds that sang songs, and rivers that seemed to carry the whispers of forgotten memories. As we traveled through this bizarre world, my emotions went from amusement to a deep sense of loss. It was as if the surreal surroundings were a reflection of the broken state of our relationship. In the midst of all the strangeness, I found myself facing the truth. Sometimes, the strangest experiences can reveal deeper truths about ourselves. Eventually, our journey through that weird world led us back to the same door we had come from. We stepped back into our own reality with a mix of exhaustion and newfound clarity. I woke up with a start, realizing the whole thing had been a dream. I got out of bed and walked around our house. The once familiar space now felt strange. I stood in the living room, catching my breath. I turned to my boyfriend with a serious look on my face. I told him that I think it's time we faced the reality of our situation. And just like that chapter of my life was over. We went our separate ways, and I accepted the events that had helped me grow and change. As I moved on, I thought about my dream and couldn't help but smile at how absurd it was. But it helped me process the broken state of my relationship and opened my eyes to the path I had to take. I sometimes think that if I hadn't had that dream, I might have tried to stay with my boyfriend, even though he betrayed me. These days I listen to my dreams. I've come to realize that dreams can be a natural way to process complex emotions. My dreams allowed me to explore and confront feelings that I wasn't fully aware of or comfortable addressing while awake. I was able to gain deeper insights into my own psyche, fears, hopes, and unresolved issues. This ultimately led me to leave my boyfriend because it helped me realize that there was no coming back from those photos. Every touch, every conversation, every smile was tainted by this messed up knowledge. Our bond used to be solid, but now it was tainted by his creepy desires. What would you have done in OP's shoes? Which ending was the best? Tell me in the comments below. Please don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell because you won't want to miss a single captivating story. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time.